Hello, welcome to the FOC show. FOC, for anyone who does not know, is final order cutoff, which means comic book stores have to order their books before. Oh my god. The invoicing document is irrelevant to the show.
I'll delete that.
Don't pay attention to that. You do not need to worry about that. If you watch the auction, worry about that a little bit. But FOC is final order cutoff, and it's because comic book stores, like us, we're a comic book store, have to put in their orders for books a few weeks in advance. I said a full month last time I talked about it, but I'm not convinced that it's entirely a month. But you have to order a few weeks in advance, and a lot of times we order based off of demand. So if you demand the thing, we'll order it for you if you email the collective at thecollectivecomics.com, and maybe you won't miss out on some books, because sometimes missing out on books happens, and it sucks. But FOMO
is real.
It is. FOMO for Thor 20 was real specifically, which is going into a second printing, but we will talk about that later. Oh my god, I have to click the thing again. To start, we're going to talk about Detective Comics 1052. And I put this one up because, one, it's on FOC, and two, the variant cover, like just the B cover for this issue specifically, is so sick. It gives me like the Rocksteady Arkham series vibes. Like, it reminds me so much of like a shot from that game, and I love the Arkham games. Also, this issue has a Nightwing feature. So hi Danny. But if you're a Nightwing fan, like, yeah, you know, it's also the Arkham Tower storyline, which is super interesting. Why are you in Tampa? Weren't you supposed to be at work today?
birthday celebrations.
That's next week.
Oh.
His birthday's the 27th.
Never too early.
But also, Danny, while you're here, I'm putting in my FOC request for the Robin trade paperback number 1, which is also in this presentation. But no, it's like Detective Comics House of Gotham has a storyline, and it's on part 6, which is a little further in, but it's about a like boy who was affected by Joker in like the early days of Batman. And it's really interesting, but Detective Comics in general is just really good, and the B cover is really cool. That's why I put it on there. The second one is Harley Quinn Eat Bang Kill Tour number 6. I put this one on here because we do not order a lot of the variants for the wall, but the variants are always cool, and they're always in high demand. So if you want one of the variants, definitely send an email to the collective at thecollectivecomics.com to get your variant order in. And I like it. I like the way that they draw Ivy a lot. The art style in general for this series is just really cute, and I enjoy it. But this is like the series finale. It's not like a miniseries necessarily. I think they're just writing the books based off of like the show's plot line. So this is the series finale from the show, but it does not mean that this is the last issue in like this particular comic run. But continuing on, the Joker number 12. I didn't even put the A cover on here because the B cover and the C cover were so much more important. Like, just in general, the B cover is kind of like sick in like a really weird way almost. Like, it looks very strange.
It's dark and like twisted almost.
Yeah, it's like a lot. But I feel like, hi Jennifer. I feel like from a I don't know. If you like the darker stuff, it's a really cool cover. But I mainly put this on here because there's a Punchline cover, which is the C cover for this. And I know people love Punchline and go crazy for Punchline covers. But this is once again something that we probably aren't going to order a ton of and have on the wall unless you ask for it. So make sure to put your FOC requests in so you don't miss out on the books you want. And now, the Robin trade paperback. Yeah. I want this one. I sent an email to the collective at thecollectivecomics.com. Max watched me do it. He can confirm. Literally requesting this. It collects issues 1 through 6 and has the prelude stories, which has Batman 106 and Detective Comics 1034. It's a solo Damian Wayne series, similar to the Tim Drake Robin series, but
it's kind of like a Mortal Kombat too.
Yeah, he figures out about the League of Lazarus tournament, and he wants to win. and the run kind of like highlights his journey to winning.
People's hearts get ripped out too. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's action packed.
which for a Damian Wayne series it should be. But definitely put in your FOC request for this if you want it, because it exists and it's real. And then you can catch yourself up and you can get the single issues. It's on issue 9 right now, isn't it? Robin's on issue 9. So you would only need to get 7, 8, 9 in the singles to be completely caught up with the run to continue on, which is cool for Robin fans, which I am. And it's why I want the trade. But besides the fact, I also put Supergirl number 8 up for DC because the variant was really cool. And that was really the only reason I put it on here. I really like the variant. And if you want the variant, you should definitely put in your FOC requests. Also, thank you, Danny. But, yeah, I really like this variant. I almost want this variant. It's like it's a mini series. So this is 8 of 8. But I almost want the variant just because it's so pretty. Like, I like the very, like, whimsical watercolory variants, and this definitely hits that mark, like, very hard. But the last book for DC is Wonder Woman 784, and this was another one that I put up because the variant was really cool. And specifically, if you're into cool variants, it's really, really, really important to put in FOC requests because we are more likely to order more of the A cover than the B covers. But if you want the B covers, we can definitely get it for you as long as you let us know, which is why you send your email to the collective at thecollectivecomics.com. But I don't know. Wonder Woman variants in general just normally hit really hard, and this one was zero exception. That's enough DC. And now it is Marvel. And Marvel has so many X-Gwen variants. Like, as I go through this, you are going to see so much of Gwen. Because almost every book from Marvel this week for FOC has an X-Gwen variant of some capacity. Hulk number 4 has an X-Gwen variant. It's actually one of my favorite of all the X-Gwen variants that like they had this week. But I really like it. And if you want it, you should submit your FOC requests because it's cool. There's also other Hulk covers that I didn't picture because like the X-Gwen variant was the one that I really, really wanted people to know about. But Gwen in general is popular. So if you want it, definitely request it. Iron Fist number 1 is also a number 1, which is cool. It's a new Iron Fist, completely new guy. But it also has an X-Gwen variant. But it's a new run. So if you want to start it, you should come pick it up. FOC it. Put it on your sub. Hopping on point. Iron Fist is cool. Also, if it changes, you know about keys. Would this be a key since it's a new Iron Fist?
Yeah. I mean, it's always good the first issue of a first new run's always a good book to collect or just, read.
True. Very true.
There's a lot.
So, next is the Marvel Multiverse RPG playtest rulebook, which is not directly a comic book. It's a $9.99 book, which you'll pay more than for a normal comic book. But Marvel is making an RPG. They have their own dice system. It's a 616 system. But this is a playtest specifically. So if you get it, if you FOC it, if you even pick it up in store, Marvel wants your feedback so they can continue developing like the game, which I think is really sick. I think playtests in general are just really cool. But Peach Momoko did one of the 3 playtest book covers, which is the one to the very right, the Wanda one. And I love this cover. It's a really good Momoko cover. All of them in general are good. And the game sounds really fun because you can either play as a preset hero or you can make like your own hero, like full Dungeons & Dragons style, but Marvel, which is kind of sick. I enjoy it. You'll probably enjoy it. And it's a playtest. So like, then you can say, if it becomes a super popular game, like if this game blows up to the like
maybe we'll
capacity.
Get Zoe to play test it as well.
Doesn't she have a board game show?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, yeah.
But hi KL. It is though. I saw this.
Momoko,
the
right?
whole yeah, it is Momoko. The whole reason I put this on this presentation specifically was that this Momoko variant was like beautiful. I really liked it. She's also, if you look at the die that she's like magicking, it says 616, which is the system they use. But if this game blows up to the capacity of like Dungeons and Dragons one day, imagine being able to say you were in the playtest for it. Because that'd be cool. Your little indie points, you know? But next is Marvel Voices Legacy #1. This is the Black History Month issue of the book that's FOC. And these covers are literally good. Like, so good. Specifically, I had to put them on 2 different sides because there was a lot of them, but the Edge variant is gorgeous. Like, it's so pretty. I really like it. It's another one of those, like, almost watercolory one. But for anyone who doesn't know, Marvel Voices in general is, like, a series that focuses in on, like, a lot of, like, lesser spoken about communities and stuff. So, like, during Pride Month, they had a Pride issue. Like, it's a really, 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 really cool concept. A lot of established writers and artists take part in it. But specifically in the Black History Month issues, there is a highlight of Luke Cage's 50th anniversary, which is really cool. But I really like the Edge variant for this. It's super pretty. I enjoy it a lot. That's, like, my favorite thing about preparing the show. Like, being able to just go through and see all the covers is really cool. But I don't have an image for this one, speaking of covers. But Thor 20 is going into a second print.
It's the first appearance of the God of Hammers.
It is. First appearance of God of Hammers. Literally sold off the wall immediately. All the covers we had upon opening Wednesday morning. Like, people went crazy for this book everywhere. So if you missed out and you want it, second print is happening. FOC it. FOC is important. Please do it. It helps everyone. You, us, helps everyone so much. But on a Thor-related subject, Thor 22 is also on FOC this week. It has an X-Gwen variant. Everything has an X-Gwen variant. But I also I like all these covers, to be honest. But in Thor 22, they're doing, like, a team-up, like, full Avengers style. So it's definitely going to be an interesting issue.
The God of Hammers.
Yeah, I would assume. I didn't want to say it. Spoilers, low-key, I guess.
No.
But, no, it's really cool. I like all these covers. X-Men #8, another X-Men variant, also a Black History Month variant, and a trading card variant. This is another one I didn't include the A cover for. Y'all can look up the A covers on your own.
So much better.
For real. The trading card variants, too, are so good. I really like all of these. But another X-Gwen variant, I think that was the last X-Gwen variant for this week,
now.
At least. For now. But, no, these are all really cool. If you want them, FOC them. Final order cutoff. But going into the indies, that was the end of Marvel. Prophet #1, how do you say it? Facsimile edition. It's his first appearance. It's his what anniversary?
This is getting reprinted because Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be either directing or starring in a Prophet movie.
Jesus Christ. It's also his 30th anniversary, besides the point of Jake Gyllenhaal, because we hate Jake Gyllenhaal in this house. Team Taylor Swift. Yeah, she listened to the album, right? We hate Jake Gyllenhaal. But this is, like, the issue that's his first appearance, and they're reprinting it. Which they did on FOC last week. They did it for Spider-Gwen. But now it's for the Prophet. Which, like,
cool.
There's more covers, too. I forgot. There's a second slide. Lots of covers for this one. They're all really sick, honestly. I really like the E one a lot, with him, like, punching in space. That is a good question, Kale. I do not know off the top of my head.
The middle covers, Stephanie.
I don't... Let me see. I'm going to look it up. So I'm curious.
Ooh. I don't know. It seems like Greg Horn almost. Do.
Catalog.
Oh, it showed up in there. Cool.
Oh, it literally.
Let's share the screen.
I forgot about that. Oh, I can't see it anymore. I'm moving it back. Apologies. Where did I go last time?
You don't have to if you want to. Right, I can definitely find out.
Oh, do you want to do it on your phone?
Yeah, I can find out and message him.
Max will let you know, KL, because I suddenly forgot how to use previews.
Fairly certain it's Greg Horn.
It's a cool cover regardless. All of these are sick. And then next on the indie list is Spawn Scorch number 2. This, besides the point of it being number 2, was our pick of the week last week. Also, it's fine, Kale. I'm curious now if it is or isn't because I don't remember off the top of my head. I need to start writing that down too. I had confidence that I would remember last night when I was prepping. I did not remember experience points. But Scorch number 2 has a really cool cover. There's also going to be a McFarlane cover, but that was not listed in the FOC. It said like no image currently, so I couldn't show it. But if you picked this up and you liked it, make sure you remember to add it to your sub. Just a reminder, because Danny's really good at cross-pooling, so sometimes people forget to add things to their subs. But for anyone who maybe hasn't picked up number 1 yet, which we have plenty of in store if you decide you want to try it, it's a superhero team-up of sorts, but with all the different, like, spawns. So there's Spawn, there's Redeemer, there's Gunslinger, there's Medieval Spawn, and She-Spawn, and they're all teamed up in, like, they're called the Scorch, so that's, like, their team name, which is what the comic is called. But that's, like, the premise. And it's super cool. And if you picked it up Wednesday, you got an extra stamp for it being the pick of the week. So if you didn't pick it up Wednesday, you missed out. But we still have issue 1 if you want to purchase. Next is Hellboy and the BPRD 1957 Forgotten Lives. This is a one-shot. Hellboy and the professor are investigating, like, a haunted graveyard. It's a one-shot, so it's 1 issue, and that is the only cover that was listed, so I'm assuming it's the only cover that there is. But if you're a Hellboy fan, definitely FOC. But the last book on the show today is Norse Mythology 3 number 1, which is a Neil Gaiman book, so it's going to be amazing. It takes readers through the creation of the 9 worlds and a lot of the origin and adventure of Thor, Odin, and Loki. So, super interesting. Also, Neil Gaiman in general. Like, I'm sure most of you have already read a lot of Neil Gaiman stuff, but he's just a really talented writer. And the reason that he started doing the comics is because he wanted to fully expand his, like, work to every single medium he could. Ooh. So, he wrote, like, novels and stuff, but he really just wants his work to be every single medium that he can, which I think is impressive. That's and he cool. doesn't. Very few people, some people are like authors and aren't even good at writing like one book. Neil Gaiman being so good at just like every medium he touches.
Does like all genres too. Like...
Yeah. A master of everything, truly. But that is the last thing on the show today. So I'm going to flip all the way back. I wish there was an easier way. But just a reminder, if you want any of the books I just showed or anything else that you know that's on FOC that I didn't include because I just did the highlights, email the collective at thecollectivecomics.com to put your requests in so we can make sure we order for you. Because we want to be able to have your books, but we cannot read your mind and predict exactly what you want at any given point. So let us know and we'll have it for you. We would love to give you your books. But yeah, that is the show today. So make sure you send your emails, do your research, figure out what y'all want. But otherwise, have a good day, you guys. I hope you all have great days, or have had great days, because it's almost 5. But yeah. Bye, gamers.